I had a client come to me about doing a virtual event with Guidebook, and some of the basic questions I started with were, what's the content you want to provide to virtual attendees? What tool or tools are you going to use to manage that content? And how are you going to get the content in front of those attendees and get them to engage with it? So I heard all sorts of, things about how they were working on setting that up, stuff like setting up a microsite, working with the tech teams at their company to update the website, learning how to set up sort of all these brand new platforms, basically a lot of options that cost time and money. So some of the things Guidebook's web features can offer you are a content management system that you're already familiar with. So if you're on this webinar, there's a good chance you might have actually already built out a guide, and populating the information into the web platform is exactly the same process. There's no new tools or platforms to learn or purchase. If you're familiar with our content management system, then it's super simple to use. Anyone can do it. There's not going to be any reliance on tech resources. It populates the information exactly the same and requires basically no additional work besides deciding what you're going to display on the web version. If you're unfamiliar with our content management system, the best thing about it, is that it's super simple to use. A Zoom link for a virtual event is basically going to be the bare minimum. Having a robust virtual platform really is going to be a vital tool in driving the kind of engagement we're looking for beyond just throwing a video conferencing platform in front of people. So a key aspect of driving that engagement is to make it easy for people. One really good way to make it easy for people is to have everything in the same place. Guidebook's web features are going to allow you to have the schedule, video, chat, sponsorship information, other features, just all in that one centralized location. So I know for some of the virtual events that I've joined, they mention a sort of separate Slack channel or a separate place for the discussion or the speaker listings or the other content. And I end up just watching the live stream, not engaging with anything. And that's it, because the content's not easily accessible. So just to give you some idea of some of the stuff Patrick's going to demo for everybody. So Guidebook now has really strong video and session discussion capabilities built into Guidebook's web features. And that should help to move the event beyond just a video stream for kind of a real way to provide value to the attendees and also to differentiate your event from all the other virtual events that are out there and driving engagement. So having that video and discussion is going to be a big part of accomplishing that. So just to wrap things up on my end, the problems we're looking to solve here are, what's the content, how are we going to present the content, and how do we manage that content efficiently and put it into a format that drives value for the attendees. In order to have a successful virtual event, you want to ask yourself those questions. Guidebook's web features give you the ability to easily manage everything, drive value for your attendees, and differentiate yourself from other virtual events. I'm excited to just go ahead and hand this over to Patrick for a demo of those new web features.
All right, everybody. So let's get started with this demo. I am going to start with the what we were previously calling the cover page to start off the demo. And it's a view that many of you are probably already pretty familiar with, but I will show off some of the changes that we have made to the cover page to support virtual and hybrid events use cases. So first off, when I scroll down to the schedule, one thing that you may notice is that we have a live badge next to some of the sessions, and that corresponds to a live stream that is associated with that session. So that's one cool new change that we've made to make it easy for your attendees to find sessions that have live streaming. Now, if I click into a session, one of the first things you're going to notice that is new is that the hero image can take the form of a video, which is pretty neat. One of the things that you can do as an attendee is click into the video on the hero image and it will start playing. I'm going to go into some inception levels of watching a guide talk within a guide talk here, so bear with me. Oh, that one's already on Q&A, neat. And one of the things that you can also do, which is pretty cool, is dock the video and then scroll around the cover page. You can scroll within the session itself to view the session details while you're watching the video or participate in the discussion, which we'll show off in a little bit. You can also click out of the session and browse the cover page itself while still watching the video. And then finally, you can undock and then put the video back where it started on the top of the session. The attendees can also see video metadata like the title of the video, which you can set within Builder, the length of the video if it's an on-demand video. If it's live, then you won't see the length necessarily, and then the video provider. Here is a live video as well, so you can see that that live badge is displaying for a session or for a stream that is live right now. So let's go ahead and click into it and see what these bears are up to. And I could just watch this all day. I really could, but I don't think that'll be very good for demo purposes. And then you can also select just different videos, whichever video the organizer has chosen to show in the video section, which is new, which will display alongside all of your other linked items in the session details. So now I'm going to show off how to set this all up in Builder. And let me back out and show a very familiar view to many of you, which is the schedule view in Builder. Now, the first thing that I'm going to do is find that session, which was Keynote. And we made a couple of changes here. One of the changes that we've made is in links. So in the links section, you will notice that the videos category is now its top level category, which is new. You can configure the videos themselves within the videos tab, which I'll show off in a little bit, but you can organize where the videos category is going to display within your session attachments by just hitting these arrows here. And I'd like it at the top, so I'll leave it there. And then let's go over to the videos tab. Now the videos tab, which is also new, is the place where you can associate videos with individual sessions. So we have 3 videos here, which I showed off previously here on the cover page. And I can go ahead and add an additional video. So let me add this dangerously relaxing video here. Now, one of the primary ways that you would do this with YouTube is you would copy the link here from YouTube. It's the embed link. And then you would simply paste it into the add a video section. And one way to essentially safeguard the video so that only attendees can view it is by making it unlisted within your YouTube preferences. That way nobody on YouTube will actually find it. Only users that are authorized to view it on cover pages will be able to see it. So I'm going to add that video URL. And I can configure the title. This is the title that's being pulled from YouTube. So I could leave it if I wanted to. It's a very long title. Or I can edit it. And then the way that you would configure that live badge that you saw, if it is a live streaming video, our builder will detect whether it is a live stream video, and then you will be able to set a start and end time, and then cover pages will detect whether or not that start and end time is the current time, and then display a badge accordingly. And then here's the video, and you can sort the video's order within the videos category here. And that's it for getting video set up. So now I will switch over to demoing discussions, and hopefully I'll be joined by some of my Guidebook compatriots soon in the discussion section. But one of the things that you will notice that is brand new to sessions, there we go, is the discussion section. So attendees can participate in real-time session discussions alongside the video. And this is really useful for live streaming events. It's also pretty cool because it syncs with session discussions on mobile. So users can chat across the Guidebook platform and participate in discussions there. So I'm going to show off what it's like to post a comment. Very excited to be typing right now. The posts themselves are capped to a character limit so that attendees can see multiple at a time. As you can tell, we are all admins. Users that are not admins, not Guidebook employees or organizers associated with the guides in question will not have that admin badge. But this is a good way for organizers to be able to kind of identify that they are an official organizer and make announcements that way in the discussion section. And a couple of other things that you can do as an organizer is you can, well, I mean, anybody can flag a post. So I suppose, I don't know, I'm not feeling mean today. I'm not going to flag anybody. But one thing that I could do is go into Builder and then go into the discussion tab, which is new to schedules. And as you can see, Matthew Matthew did comment that does a bear eventually catch a fish? I think we all want to know. That's outrageous. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete that post. Yeah, and I'm sure, that's regretful. And then I'm not going to delete my own post because why would I do that? But yeah, this is a new moderation view for session level discussions, which is pretty cool. You can also block users just like you can in Interact. And then you can view the posts within the session context. So if I went to view discussion here, it's going to pull up all of the keynote posts. And as I mentioned before, the session discussions do sync with their mobile counterparts. One change that we've made to the mobile apps is that session discussions are now siloed so that the discussions themselves don't filter into the Interact feed. So session discussions will really just make sense within their session context, which is pretty neat. And you can chat on either the web or on mobile pretty seamlessly. And then I just wanted to cap off this demo by saying that we've released a lot of features over the past couple of months to what we are now calling Guidebook Web. The old product was called Cover Pages. Cover Pages in the beginning was used as mostly a way to get users into your mobile applications as a sort of user acquisition method to increase engagement on the apps. But of course, the events landscape has changed to kind of like a more hybrid and virtual event use cases that are friendly to those types of events. And we are really cognizant of that. So we have been releasing features to support those use cases over time, such as signing in and out of the cover page, account creation through Guidebook Web, and then adding sessions to your My Schedule, and of course, video and live discussion. And we're going to continue to make improvements and additions to Guidebook Web along the way to facilitate even more of those use cases for virtual events. And with that, I'm going to transition over to Q&A. Thank you very much.
Great. Thanks for that demo, Patrick. All right, so we're going to switch things over to Q&A now. So I'm just going to start off with my colleague Stuart here. Stuart, first question. Will schedule times change based on attendees' time zone?
Currently, they will not. However, this is something that is on our roadmap. The development team are looking at this, and yeah, I'm very confident that we'll have a resolution on this soon for events with with attendees in multiple locations.
Great. Matthew, does that live feature appear when the event is happening, or is that the indicator that it is an event that has a live feature?
Yep, happy to answer this one. So the live tag is going to show up when the video itself is in the live stream, as you saw from the bear video. Also, Patrick's still curious if the bear does catch a fish.
Right. And another question for you. Can you link Teams or Zoom, or do you have to upload to YouTube?
Yeah, so the video tab currently supports YouTube, Vimeo, and Twitch. You can include Teams and Zoom links directly in the session description. And in Zoom, you're able to create a link to stream your video on YouTube or Vimeo, which we've seen quite often. And these are there are links to these instructions in our support articles. One of the things that we do kind of as an organization whenever we roll out any updates or improvements or new features is we include handy support resources for those that we try not to be too wordy. We use a lot of images and screenshots and GIFs and step-by-step instructions. So with all these new and improved features that are rolling out, you can count on having those same resources available to you.
Great. All right, Stuart, now back to you. How do you compare to Hopin and vFair?
Yeah, great question. And I'm sure there are many others out there as well. I've seen many virtual event platforms popping up in recent months. I don't know too much about vFair, but we've seen quite a bit of Hopin, and I'm definitely not going to say anything disparaging about those platforms. And Hopin in particular looks pretty good. What I would say is that Guidebook was obviously originally built for a mobile world where people are traveling, people are very mobile, and their phone is used more than anything else, and the speed of having it at people's fingertips was a huge plus. We've had to adapt our platform as people do travel less and move less. Hence these exciting changes which we've ran through today, and more are coming. But I think the key difference that I would stress is that, because we were built for that mobile world, it obviously puts us best placed for the next phase. As events do move back to hybrid and in person, our tool is ready and waiting, and being able to connect audiences at an event where some people are there in person, want to connect through mobile, some are on web and want to connect through that. Mobile is really tough. It's taken Guidebook almost 10 years to put together this platform. I don't think it's something that those platforms will be able to pull together quickly at all. And that's the real difference with how we compare, because I think our clients can build a community now. They can run virtual events through our platform, build a user base, and it's very easily transition to hybrid and in-person events without getting their admins to learn a new tool, to purchase a new tool, without their users having to onboard and learn a new tool, and then another one as the events change. I think for the web products, quite honestly, those platforms probably have a few more bells and whistles. Our real focus is on engagement with key content and other users, and being able to provide value long before the event and long after the event through access to documentation on mobile and on web.
Great, thanks, Stuart. All right, Matthew, this one's for you. Can you embed an ON24 webinar file?
Yep. So currently we don't support that at the moment, but greatly appreciate the suggestion. I know we especially, and as Patrick is one of our senior product managers, are always on the lookout for more platforms to connect with. So we can keep that one on the radar and kind of do a bit of digging.
And another one for you, Matthew. Is the YouTube account associated with the guidebook or with the presenting entity?
Great question. So to provide some context for that, so the YouTube videos that Patrick demoed are owned by various accounts on YouTube. You can link to any public YouTube videos, whether they are on your own YouTube account or someone else's.
Great. All right, Stuart, now jump back to you. Is it possible to integrate with a meeting/voting platform such as LUMI?
So as far as a full integration into our web platform, we're not offering that today. However, on the horizon for Guidebook Web is the addition of live polling. We already support live polling on the mobile app, and we will be bringing that functionality into the web product definitely before the end of this year. In addition, we're also planning on launching speaker Q&A with moderated questions. Again, before the end of the year, that is scheduled. So we're trying to add as much to our platform as we can. However, with lots of tools, it is usually possible to put a link, and users can click that link and access the other tool if it's really important for you to use that specific tool, and that's available on web and mobile.
And just to add to the tail end of that, Stuart, Liana in chat makes a good point. Actually, and this is something you're aware of, Slido actually works well. We have features, for our current builders that are familiar with our features. The web view that we have, at least for mobile, allows you to drop in other links, and it's popular. Slido is quite popular to use as well.
Absolutely.
Great. And then Matthew, will this work the same for pre-recordings?
Yeah, so you can add any YouTube video, including pre-recordings of sessions.
Awesome. And is embedding live streamed YouTube limited by the YouTube account's ability to authorize embedding?
Yeah, I would imagine so. And we didn't come across any limitations as we were setting this up for this demo and for all the other multiple demos and testing that we've done as we prepare to create and release these features. Didn't come across any sort of authorization checkboxes on the YouTube account side. I imagine there may at some point, if there's a setting, some sort of privacy setting that needs to be flipped, then it's possible, but we didn't encounter any.
Great. No problem. Another one for you. Can you download or save the chats post-event?
So at the moment, you can view the chats in Builder, as Patrick was showing, but not download them. We do appreciate the suggestion, though, and that's something we can certainly pass on to the product team.
Got it. Cool. Stuart, this one's for you. Do people have to be registered to be able to post?
Yes, they do, and that is true for our mobile app as well as for our web platform. We believe that when people are posting comments, put in there, we think it's important that they put their name to those, and obviously, as we've shown you, that those can be moderated after the fact as well. So yes, we will be requiring login, and that's important to the way this is set up.
Got it. All right, Matthew, do flagged posts generate an alert that goes to a designated admin?
They do not currently generate an alert now.
Oh, no problem. And then Stuart, for you, is there a monitoring feature for the discussions? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so Patrick did sort of show that with the admin feature for being able to moderate the posts and delete posts and also block users.
Matthew, jumping over to you. Do attendees need to create a Guidebook account to participate in the discussion?
Yep, happy to answer that. And the answer is yes. You will need a Guidebook account and be logged in. That kind of serves as your kind of digital presence there to allow you guys.
Perfect. All right, Stuart, can a mod approve comments before they are posted versus deleting after the fact?
That is not possible at this point. So if session discussion is available, it is designed to be unmoderated. The reason for that is that we believe discussion, is something that can obviously happen in person, and we want to be able to very quickly and organically connect audiences on web. People that are maybe at a hybrid event, people may be discussing in person and on the web through their app and through the web interface. The concern of if every post had to be moderated and approved, it's not really a discussion. It's more of a kind of forum or a message board, and that's the reason that we decided to basically allow users to moderate afterwards if they do think something is inappropriate, however unlikely that is. But we are, as I mentioned, going to be building speaker Q&A, which will allow for moderated questions specifically for the speaker, and admins will be able to vet those and before they go up, and users will be able to vote on their favorite questions.
Great. All right. Matthew, can I use Vimeo live stream and embed my live feed that way?
Yes, you can. So Vimeo is one of the platforms that you can use with the video linking that Patrick was demonstrating.
Perfect. And can Zoom links be embedded?
Zoom links, let me find my, Zoom links can be embedded as well. Those are supported.
All right. And then is there a better way to integrate surveys, evaluations into the web platform now? Last year we had a link to a separate SurveyMonkey, which wasn't ideal. Matthew.
Oh, sorry, that was for me.
Yeah.
Absolutely, sorry. So our product team is actively evaluating adding survey capabilities to cover pages. Survey feedback is a core piece of any event, virtual, hybrid, or analog, as they say. So that's something that's actively on the radar.
Great. All right, and then Stuart, jumping to you. Does Guidebook Web allow for session registration? Our members need to register for certain sessions.
Yes, this is a nice simple yes to this one. An attendee can register for a session as long as they are logged in with their account. And if they don't have an account, they are able to create one from obviously the mobile app and on the web page.
Great. All right, Matthew, now jump into you here. Can you show us again the web guide, what the web guide looks like for the user now, not in the builder? The prior version was not very visually appealing.
That question, I'm sure, is asked by someone who's been with Guidebook for quite a while. So I think the prior web version that we had, the web view, had kind of an older aesthetic too. And what Patrick was walking you through, that cover page with the keynote session, with the docking video, the video of the bears, for whatever reason I seem obsessed with the bear video. that is the current web version, Guidebook web version. So that is the newer version. If you have an older guide, and not to kind of go too far afield here, but if you, and for the person who specifically asked this question, if you have like a really older guide in your dashboard, you'll notice when you go into that promote area where you have access to those web views, you'll see both the older version and the newer version. We've kind of hidden that older version, which is in the process of being deprecated in favor of the newer Guidebook web. So you may have access to those too, if you see those. But yeah, Patrick was 100% demoing the newer, polished and more aesthetically pleasing version.
Great, no problem, thank you for that. All right, we're gonna start wrapping things up here. We got a few more questions that we want to get to. So Stuart, what about security for Guidebook web for events? Or what about security for Guidebook web for events that sell tickets? How do we restrict access to paid attendees?
Yeah, so the Guidebook webpage, this is one of the really exciting new developments to this. So we now mirror the security options which are available through our app. So that means your app can have three, or your event guide can have three main security options. Number one is public and available to everyone. Doesn't sound like that is relevant for the ticket use case. Number two is a passphrase. So any user with that passphrase can access the web content and the mobile content. If you're worried about people sharing that passphrase around and getting around that ticket sale, which you probably are, then the third most secure option is invite only. And that is where you can have an email whitelist, where basically anyone that you input into the system will be able to access the content on web and mobile. If you haven't uploaded their email address, if their name's not on the list, they're not getting in. And I can see a sort of a similar question or a related question a little bit lower. So I'll just take that now. Someone asked, how do you sync attendees to the list of registered attendees? And so in this example, if you have registered ticket purchasers, you want those synced into your guide and you want only those to have access on web and mobile, then there are actually a few different ways. You can import your attendees using a spreadsheet. So you can export it from your system and import them into ours. You can add them manually, even though you probably don't want to do that. And we also have a few different integrations with popular softwares, as well as an open API, which a number of our clients have built custom integrations against for their specific softwares. So that's a long answer, but I think it's really important because controlling access is clearly a critical thing. Hopefully that detailed answer's helped.
Great, thank you. And then Matthew, we'll end it with you here. Can you use that login then to track attendance without a physical registration desk? We are trying to figure out how to do this.
Yep. So we have full metrics for tracking attendance, and we do adhere to GDPR as well. So we are fully GDPR compliant. Privacy is very important to our offering. So we do have full attendance tracking. There are multiple different levels of attendance that you can set for your individual schedule sessions. If you want to allow anybody to add sessions, or if you want to allow them, if you want to prevent people from adding them, if you want to manage them specifically, we have a whole suite of tools at your disposal to track and manage attendance.
Okay, great. Let's see here. So yeah, it looks like we're going to wrap things up here. But yeah, if we didn't get to all of your questions, we will send a recording of today's meeting along with all the Q&A in that email. We hope you found this webinar helpful today. For a more tailored demo to suit your specific needs, please reach out to our account managers via the email below or submit a demo request on our website. And yeah, thanks for joining today.